Hey everybody, welcome to the Blackboard Tour video for History 131 Online. Your landing page will be the announcements page, and here you can see the first section of the welcome announcement. Now at the time that I am recording this, I don't have the welcome announcement fully done, which is why you can see January here, but by the time you get it, it will have the proper August dates. So let's play around in here and have an adventure. Alright, so if you go into the My Instructor tab, you can see a picture of me from before I had children. You can tell that it's before I had children because I'm well rested. So, and I have time to do things like dye my hair and wear jewelry. Alright, and if you have kids, you totally understand all of that. And if you don't, and you are planning to have kids one day, good luck. Alright, so my email address is on there. My office location is B124 in the Steam building. I currently don't have a phone set up. I mentioned that when we went to the syllabus video. Once I have a phone number, again, you'll get an announcement with a phone number. My office hours, we went through that in the syllabus, but they're also posted here, 8:15 to 9:15 a.m. and 2 to 3 p.m. on Monday. Tuesday, Thursday is 10 to 11:30 in the morning, and also by appointment. Alright, so if you go to the Welcome tab, which is where you're supposed to go when you start everything, right? You can see another copy of the Welcome video, the syllabus and Blackboard Tour videos, which you're looking at right now. Woo! Copy of the syllabus. The reading breakdown, which will open right up. See, look, you can just download it in the new thing. Hey, there it is. And I don't know why. Alright, here it is. So, let's see. This is your schedule for the semester. It's got all of the major due dates for everything. What we're doing each week, what we're reading, all that kind of stuff. So, for example, week 1, which today's the 15th and tomorrow's the 16th, that's just the first days of classes and the introduction kind of stuff. Week 1 starts next week. On the 19th. So you will have, is that right? The 19th? Yes, that's right. Is that right? Can I do math? Yes, I can. All right, so for week 1, what I like to do is have just lecture and readings on Blackboard. So that way, if you do not have your books, remember you need those 2 books that they are listed in the syllabus. If you do not have those 2 books by the time we start stuff on week 1, you can still complete the discussion board and do all the assignments. You'll watch the lecture videos. You'll see those when we go into the assignment folder in Blackboard here in a minute. You'll read these things on Blackboard, and you'll complete your discussion board. So you could do all of that without having the textbooks. In week 2, we start to need the textbooks. As noted up here, Give Me Liberty is abbreviated as GML. Voices of Freedom is VOF. Blackboard readings are abbreviated BB. Alright, so these are the document numbers here for Voices of Freedom. If you look in the table of contents, you can see they've got number 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, blah, blah. So you'll need number 4, number 7, number 15, 10, 11, 12, and it goes in that order just because of the way the topics go. So that's week 2. Week 3, you've got books and you've got some things to read on Blackboard as well. Week 4, your paper is due. Why would I have it due so early? Am I a monster? No, I'm not a monster. But you are writing the discussion boards. And as you'll recall when we discussed it in the syllabus, those are mini papers. And you're going to be getting detailed feedback from me on those discussion boards for weeks 1, 2, and 3. So instead of a discussion board, you'll just write a paper. So it's like longer. And you will have gotten feedback on your writing 3 times before that paper is due. So you should be able to do that. It's a really interesting paper question, I think, and you can use stuff from weeks 2, 3, and 4 on it. But you can see here in the reading breakdown that I've got due, paper 1 assignment due Friday by 11:59 p.m. So I've got it marked on there. And that's just kind of what this is. Sometimes the heading freaks out, and that's okay. There we go. Sorry. Not a big fan of Microsoft programs, but that's okay. It works sometimes. All right. But as you can see, why does it? Okay, so it says spring right there, but you can see it says fall right there. Hopefully that's fixed by the time you actually pull that up out of Blackboard. All right, so as you can see, it just kind of goes through, lists when things are due, like what you're supposed to read for each week, all that good stuff. Pretty self-explanatory, okay? So, and then that's, of course, the wrong day, because it's not going to be May. All right. Remember all that talk I had about proofreading the syllabus? Apparently I need to listen to myself, huh? So you should have a correct version of this by the time you pull it up. This is one of the reasons why I start these videos so early. All right. So any questions on that? Just email me and let me know. That is the reading breakdown. Okay. We've looked at the syllabus. Discussion board FAQ. Questions to ask yourself before submitting your discussion board posts. Okay, they're listed in order of importance, which means what counts the most is first. So take a look. The prompts have multiple questions. Did you answer each question? Does it do so comprehensively? When answering the questions, do you use the proper sources to back up your arguments? Are there sources that don't quite fit? Are there sources for this week that you don't use that would help you? Remember, you won't use every single document each week. Some fit better than others. Our textbook, lecture, and primary sources all used. Those are all required. You need at least one primary document each discussion board, and you got to have lecture and textbook. Now that first week, like I said, you won't have Voices of Freedom or Give Me Liberty. So you will cite lecture and at least one of the documents on Blackboard. Did you cite your sources? Did you do so correctly? There is a How to Cite Your Sources video in the first week in the assignments folder, so check that out. Okay. If you have questions after looking at that, let me know. Is your post well organized and broken up into paragraphs? Please don't just give me one giant blob. I don't like big giant blobs. They're hard on the eyes. Is there an introduction that introduces your points, body paragraphs answering the questions in a chronological and clear way? You have to go in order, right? You can't be like, so in, 1510, in 1640, in 1567, you got to go just in chronological order. Okay. Did you proofread your work, reading your post out loud? Like I said, we're going over the reading breakdown. I missed some stuff I forgot to update for fall. I got to go back and do that, but I was reading it out loud, and that really helped me. So, proofread your work. Did you comment on at least 2 students' posts? Do your comments add to the conversation? Do they relate to the topics this week? And if necessary, cite sources you include in the comments. You can agree, disagree, and or compliment fellow students, but you must be respectful and also add to the conversation. It cannot just be, good job, or I agree. It needs to be like, well, I agree with your point about X, but in terms of Y, and I also thought this about Y, so you have to actually have some points of your own that add to the conversation, okay? Please feel free to email me if you have additional questions about this. Primary document checklist. This is just something that I recommend you take a look at. Some of you may have never read primary documents before. These are just some things to look at when reading those documents. What type of document is it? These are just things that might help you understand it better. Why does it exist? What motives the author had to write it in this form? Who wrote the document? What's left out? In addition to the main subject, what other kinds of information can be obtained from the document? Like when you read the Midwife's Tale diary entries, for example, in the introduction, Martha Ballard talks about all kinds of stuff, not just her job as a midwife, but like she talks about the weather and where people are, she's traveling on the river and all kinds of stuff. So you can actually learn all sorts of extra information besides the main subject. How do these subjects of the document relate to what we know about broader society? What was the meaning of the document in its own time? What is the meaning today? And what does the document tell us about change in society? So these are all things you might want to think about as you read the primary documents. I have a handout called Is This Plagiarism? Take a look at that. It's got some examples of what is or is not plagiarism to help clarify that. Active and passive voice, you can take a look at this. This will help you strengthen your writing. Instead of saying, the people were involved in exploring Virginia. That would be passive with the use of were. People explored Virginia. Active, much stronger. So this is a little handout telling you a bit about that. Okay. Assignments folder. All right, so like I said, this is super mega organized. I like to be super mega organized, and I find it helps when doing things like teaching a class. So in the assignments tab, every week has its own folder. Okay. So if you go to the introduction, that's the introduce yourself discussion board that you need to do by this Sunday. Okay. Week 1. Lecture outline. Let's take a look at that. This is different from the script I lecture from. Okay. The lecture outline has keywords and discussion questions. You do not have to fill this out. Okay. This is for you. If you want to take notes this way, that's great. Anything that is on the exam is going to be from these keywords. Okay. And the keywords are bolded in the lecture notes as well. These discussion questions are just things that I will answer and talk about as we go through the lecture. So this is optional. Something that students like to do is add spaces between these and fill them in as I talk, and it helps them study for the exam. If you don't want to do that, that's fine, but I provide this just in case you want to. The notes are, that's where you'll find the script. That's where you'll find what I lecture from. And then the lecture videos are broken into parts. Okay, ranging from 10 to 15 minutes, just to give you an easy way to take breaks, so you don't hear me droning on for like an hour. It's broken up, and they're all here on YouTube, and they should have closed captioning. And these are the documents that you're going to read for this week, and this is a History Study Center access instruction little blob thing here, okay? The Columbus letter that you have for week 1 is in the History Study Center, okay? You can find that by going to the library page. In fact, you know what? I'm just going to show you right here. We're here, might as well do it, right? Let's see. All right, go to library. Now, I'm already signed in, okay, because I'm on Blackboard, obviously. So resources, let's see. This has changed. You can go to by subject. You're going to want to scroll down. Oh my goodness, you're going to want to scroll down to where history is. Click on History Study Center. Oh, you do have to sign in with your JCC information. And then, let's see. I'm just going to plug in Christopher Columbus's name. I'm going to use the drop-down menu to go to historical documents because I'm looking for a document. I'm going to hit go. A letter of Christopher Columbus, first description of the New World. That's exactly what we need. And there's your document. Bam. Okay. So there are written instructions on how to access that. There's a YouTube video on how to access that. And we just accessed that together. So that's how you're going to access any History Study Center document off campus. The links will work on campus. If you are at home or at work or somewhere that is not JCC campus, you're going to want to go through the steps we just went through to get to that document, okay? Here's that how to cite your sources video, and here's your discussion board for week 1, okay? All right, so all of the weeks are broken down like that, and you've got extra information in here too. For example, week 2, I'm going to be out of town Thursday to Monday. I'll be available by email. You will turn in your discussion board on Friday, like usual. Okay. Week 3 is Monday's Labor Day, but we still will have everything due Friday because we're not affected by that because we're online. Week 4, your paper's due. Your Exam 1 study guide becomes available because study guides get posted 2 weeks before the exam. So they'll be up in the 2 weeks before. They'll also be up in the week of the exam. Okay. And as you'd go, it's just everything is, there. Okay. All right, and like I said, you're going to get weekly announcements from me, so you'll see all that stuff. All right. Syllabus tab. Your syllabus is in the Welcome tab, but it's also right here. Student acknowledgement form, if you could fill that out. I'm going to try to use my work laptop, which is a PC. My personal laptop is a Mac, so I can't do all the same stuff. I'm going to try to make it so you can just mark that you've reviewed it and don't have to email it to me. If I totally epically fail on that, we can do just emailing me the forms. Okay. And that's it. My grades, you'll want to check stuff there. You know, that's where everything is. You know, all that magical stuff. And the announcements page is the landing page. So when you open up Blackboard, that's where you'll be. And then the last thing I want to show you is the campus safety tab at the top. This just has what you need to do in case of an emergency, depending on what the emergency is. That's it. See my plethora of classes. All right, so that is it. If you have any other questions about anything, please let me know. Again, email super duper awesome. Be sure you've checked out everything here in the Welcome tab that we've gone through, including the syllabus tour video. Your Introduce Yourself discussion board is due by Sunday, August 18th by 11:59 p.m. That includes comments on 2 other people. That's kind of our online version of an icebreaker, so make sure you've done that. And like I said, just contact me with any questions you have, and I'm looking forward to a really great semester.